Thank you for the 3 people watching this.
Hey, I appreciate all 3 of you.
I don't think my background has ever looked this good. So,
what were you like when I was like, I need you to turn off all your lights?
I was like,
okay.
All right. Like, it's
I don't even know what set that is.
It's
what? That's freaky because like I like to think I know a lot at this point.
You don't know which one it is.
But Star Wars, it's like Star Wars City and like Friends. It's like real. Oh, Ninja. In fact, all of them. It's like
record the video. The video, dude. I drink a coffee before I run, so I can take a shit and I don't have to worry about the farts.
Sometimes I'm like,
right?
oh damn, I should.
People that follow
Where's your
me.
hat?
It's up there. It's up there. Yeah.
I'm like looking at you like,
can you see it? Can you see it?
Yeah, no. Oh yeah, oh yeah, you can over there.
Just a little bit.
All right, I'm like looking at you. I'm like, there's something off.
And it was Bryce Swobricks that like immediately when I saw his page, I was like, that guy did it.
He makes me feel fat.
No.
It's your fault.
No, Ellie, we love you. We love you. It's not your fault.
I love Josh's videos. Filipino lion fans? Like, what the hell is going on here, man?
If you open up God's heart, it's just like 5 Filipino men like sharing an orange. I don't know, how do I sound?
You sound good, dude. All right, so I mean, we're gonna, dude. I don't know. They just kind of start generically, so I guess we've started.
Yeah, that was what I was gonna ask. Because watching them, I was like, there's no real intro.
There isn't.
It just starts.
It just starts.
Yeah,
just
which
like
I love.
Just like this. So, all right, man. No, thanks for letting me come over, dude.
Welcome to Austin, Texas. Fresh off the plane.
Plane.
Got off the plane 30 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, literally. Literally, it's 4:20.
Oh, I meant to look and see how long the setup time was.
I don't even know what time I got here.
Yeah, let's see what time.
What time did we text you?
3:44.
So it took 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exact.
Dude, that's.
I know. I knew it. So, like clockwork, man. Like as you can see, I mean, watching your face though, like when I opened up. Well, when I came up the walkway with all this gear, and then like opening it all up, and then you geek out for like a second. But then not only that, when I started setting it up.
Yeah. Well, I knew it was gonna be professional, but like comparing it to what I do, which is like stuff my camera in a backpack, and I've got like my Rode mic in different pockets and stuff. I was like, this is awesome.
Come closer.
So,
there we go.
Sorry.
There we go.
First time on a podcast.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Never done this before.
I'm still trying to figure this out. I'm only 4 episodes in, and like every single episode, there's been something where I'm like, ooh, no, no.
It's like a learning process.
Yeah.
Every time.
So as you can tell, one-man show. Usually on one of these, you'll have like someone on the other end making sure we're all good on all these cameras. Because usually it's like it's like too late. Like when I'm already like editing in the background, I'm like, dude, I should have pointed this way. I should have used that light instead. But as you saw how fast I had to set this up in 30 minutes.
Dude, you were on it, man.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
So I'm on a mode, but yeah, how do you like to set up?
The thing for me is now we have to beat 30 minutes when we go to the Blair.
Well, because now you're gonna be my cameraman,
right?
Oh, I finally got someone in there. That's cool, dude.
They don't care about me. They don't like me. They didn't want to come and help out with the cameras.
No, it's all. I mean, I could have asked.
No, but dude, they've been so helpful with like picking me up from the airport and like my car being out of commission this week. They've been like driving me around.
Well, when Jean was driving us around, she kind of was like, "That way is the Blairs." I'm like, "Oh." Okay, so we're going that way, and then we got to go through all the way to the city. It's just like, it kind of reminds me of LA a little bit, just because how far you guys are all spread out. Yeah, well, you guys are awesome, but it's all spread out. LA is the same way, except there's just way more buildings in between.
Is it like you have to drive an hour to get from LA to LA kind of thing?
Yeah. But see, with where I live, I'm in the very north part of the city boundary.
Okay.
I wouldn't consider it the city of LA, even though it is city of LA. Because right when you pass that, you're in a completely different. You're still in the same county, but you're in like a different city altogether.
Interesting.
So, regardless of the fact, I'm happy that you geeked out about this because there's a piece of me that loves the tech gear of all of it. And
truly,
like when I make videos, when I watch other people make videos, like I love seeing the little hint of an upgrade. The sound or audio or video quality.
I always notice that.
Oh yes, they're getting it. And it's I don't really push like when you say, oh, I gotta start by. I'm like, no, dude, don't.
I know. Well, and everyone says that. Everyone says that, right? When I'm gonna start making content. What camera should I get? And everyone's advice is always like, just start with your iPhone.
Yes.
Like, just start with your iPhone. And when people told me that, part of me wanted to be like, shut up. I want a nice camera.
Well, there's a thing. There's a thing with that though, because like when you're starting off, let's put it just on YouTube, for example. If you're when you're starting off, there's a lot of things you have to learn, right? There's like editing, there's times analytics, the content you're gonna do. Mm-hmm. If you put all of your energy on your equipment, you're focusing on the wrong thing. You're not learning the basic things that you need to know to be able to make a good video. Otherwise, you're just shooting a really crappy video.
With a nice camera.
With a nice camera. And by the time you're proficient at the camera that you're using, there's already better equipment out there.
What do you mean by that?
So let's say it takes you 2 or 3 years.
Oh, to already come out with
and there's already a better camera for cheaper the price.
Yeah.
And can do what you want it to do, like, faster and quicker and all that kind of stuff. So, it's always good to knock out the basics first about like video. I mean, if you can come straight out the gate. But usually when you see those creators that come straight out the gate with good quality, good videos, they've been doing it already somewhere else. Right. Like with a different channel or different content. And then when it comes to the Lego space, like, whoa, where'd you come from? Right. Like Tiago, for example. Like he came out from the woodwork with great editing, great camera quality. But he did that for a living before Lego. So it kind of made sense. Okay. But for most of us, we just kind of have to, use your iPhone. Lens and the audio on the iPhone is great. Yeah, you don't really need
the
to
way
go
you
crazy.
said that. It didn't sound
great at all.
You're like, it's great.
Okay, well, for me, I have the 13. That's like way out of date. So I wouldn't push it.
I have the 13 as well.
Yeah,
and I have the 13 mini.
Oh,
so
wow.
the camera is not.
I think I saw your phone.
It's not great. Yeah. Well, actually, I have 2 phones. It's a whole thing.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, for having 2, you paid off one, just kind of use it, or you just use it for another camera.
It's a work phone.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
I had 2 phones like that at one point for work. Yeah. But at the beginning of these episodes, I used this as a third camera.
Interesting.
So, I mean, it's the first time I'm using 3 DSLRs to film this. And the middle one that's filming both of us.
Let's go. What's up?
So the one that I'm pointing at is facing me is my normal camera that I use for all my videos. Okay. So that never moves. So if you ever go into my Lego office, it's stuck. It doesn't move. It's just stuck on an arm and just pointing in one direction because that's a point, click, I'm gone. I start working. Right. Like I don't have to do anything.
Which is so nice.
Yeah. My B-roll camera is that camera. So the ZV-E10 is the one that I use to kind of film everything else without having to take that apart.
Okay, got it.
Because they all have different settings. This one I just got for this purpose.
Just for me.
Hello,
just for
world.
You.
But no, but I don't want to use my phone because imagine if I shoot an hour-long video on this and then try to airdrop it to my computer to work on.
It takes 7 to 10 business days.
Yeah. And space alone on a phone is limited. Sure. So if I came here and recorded 7 episodes, or Chicago recorded 10, it's not what I'm going to do. So I invested into this. So this is like my second hobby.
Yeah,
right.
I love it, dude.
It kind of has to be like,
dude, I love this idea so much. Like when you told me about it, because we talked about it in Utah. Yeah. Right. And
well, dude, I was watching you set up live.
Yeah. Well, and when you told me about what you were doing, I was like, that is. Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, go ahead. Okay.
Dude, that's fucking awesome. Like, it's such a great idea. Oh, it's so great.
I'm reaching for the stars, though.
Truly.
Only because, like, there's no way I'll get to the point where I have people I can fly people over to LA and like have them, I'll have like a space like this, like a little office space that can come through. Unless I start making like millions of views, which is something like this in Lego. It's already niche. Right. Like really, people are really just listening to the people that are coming on. So it's your own audience coming in and my own small audience that's coming in. Sure. So
thank you for the 3 people watching this.
Hey, love I appreciate you. All 3 of you. No, but, again, to that, it's 3 people that watch the whole hour.
Yeah.
Versus
for sure.
20 people that watch this 5 minutes.
My mom, my dad, and my grandma. That's it. That's my community.
Not even your brothers.
Yes. No.
They're like, spin this guy.
Like, is there a way to like count down the views? Is it? Oh, dislike. We'll dislike it.
Right. But yeah, so this is also like another hobby. In the last episode, I was talking with Michael with MK and Brick. YouTube, you have to be really successful on YouTube, you have to love YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way, like, if you hate it, you're not going to do well. You'll just fall off eventually. You get burned out and you want to do it anymore. But you have to really study the, what works, the meta, and or be okay with what you're doing based on the videos you want to push out there. Because, you know, some videos just won't do well because there's no audience for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, equipment is like another part of that. It's like, you know, videography, photography, cinematography, like lighting, you know, and I'm amateur in all of this. So like every episode that I get through it, I'm like, okay, don't do that next time.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a learning process. Every single thing.
And the background is different every time.
Yeah.
I know how to light my office.
Yeah,
well,
that's fair.
You know, but
I mean, I don't think my background has ever looked this good. So
what were you like when I was like, I need you to turn off all your lights?
I was like,
okay.
All right. Like, bow, 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 bow.
No, but I appreciate the pre-setup. You know, you have the table out that we can like, you know, you have this between us.
Yeah.
I have space and it pretty much works. So
yeah, it does. So you can just move in, you know, she can go back, take care of the kids. We'll be roommates. We'll just do podcasts all day.
Dude, aside from my wife, I haven't had a roommate in like 20 years.
Well, and that's the same thing with me. Now that I live alone, I'm like, I will never have a roommate until I'm married.
I don't know if you planned on that segue, but that was great.
Thank you. No, I really didn't actually. But it is a good segue.
That was a good segue.
Thanks.
All right, well, let's get into that. What's your story right now, man?
I'm a professional podcaster. I know how to work my way around agenda.
ELPN shout out right there. We're a little early shout out to not only Rob the Builder, but ELPN, which I'm actually really happy to talk about. But okay, so right quick, like what's your story, dude?
Story is my mom and dad met in college. No. When a man loves a woman. Okay, sorry. Fast forward.
Way forward.
Way forward. So Lego story.
Sure.
Starting there. It's a good place to start. My brothers and I, we always loved getting Lego. And it was always like the thing we would ask for birthdays, for Christmas. It was the stocking stuffer, all that stuff. And my parents, this is a tip for you, for any people that have kids that love Lego. On Christmas, I love Christmas. I love giving gifts, getting gifts. And I would be so excited. I would wake up at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. And I would be like, I can't wake up my parents. So I'd just sit there twiddling my thumbs, looking at the presents.
That was my son this year.
Yeah. And then 7:59, I would knock on the door and be like, time for presents yet? And they're no, 1 more hour. No. So what they started to do was my parents, to buy themselves some time, they would put one present at the bottom of the stairs, which was always a Lego.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we would open the Lego and build it, and it would buy them an extra hour and a half of time.
I get what they're doing.
Right? It's smart.
That is smart.
Because it's I'm getting a gift that I wanted that also they know I will be playing with for an extended period of time before I ever want to even come in contact with them. So that's what they would do.
That's smart.
But
I need to do that.
So just like anyone, went through my dark period in middle school, high school. It's funny, all the Lego was in the basement, and every once in a while I would just walk down there and look at it. Just be like, okay, it's all still there. All right, cool. And then just walk back upstairs. But 2022, Christmas of 2022, my brother got COVID. So we had to shut down all of our Christmas plans. And I was walking around the house bored and didn't know what to do. We opened presents, and my parents got me they would always get me a Lego gift, just one every year. And it was the Imperial shuttle with Darth Vader, Luke, and the pilot.
Wait, this is Christmas 2022 or Christmas 2021?
Now I don't even know. It may have been 2021.
Yeah.
I forget.
Okay.
But anyways, I built it and I was like, wow, that was so much fun. And I told my dad, I was like, I wish we had more Lego that we could build. As you should go order some Lego. It will be fun. And he was like, well, my retirement plan is to go down into the basement and rebuild all of the Lego Star Wars sets from when you were kids. And I was like, we're doing that right now.
Right now.
Go.
Yeah.
screw the retirement plan. It's happening now.
We need to wait.
You're retiring now. So my dad and I would spend, 2-3 hours every day just sorting through the Lego and stuff. It was a really, really awesome opportunity to spend time with my dad. My dad is a man of very few words, but very profound words. And so we would always watch sports together because it was a great way to spend time together. And this was just like another thing that we could do.
Yeah.
And I loved it. It was so much fun. We ended up rebuilding probably 75 sets, something like that. Star Wars sets, yeah. And I mean, it was from when I was, you know, in
are they still built?
first, second grade. Yeah, it's all still down there. When I moved, I was like, do you guys want me to take more of this stuff? And they're like, nah, just leave it there. So it's all still there. And whenever I go home, I always post a video. And without fail, there's always like 1 or 2 new followers that are like, wait, where is this? What is this?
Yeah, where did that was me.
Yeah.
That was me this Christmas.
What?
Yeah.
I'm so confused. Where are you right now? Yeah, there's probably like 250 sets down there now.
So when did you stop buying Lego?
Well,
I'm not gonna count it like a dark age. It's more like when did you stop buying Lego, or they stopped buying Lego for you, for all of you?
Yeah, it never actually really happened because every Christmas they would still get us one set.
Yeah,
like throughout
even your teenager years.
Yeah, teenager
cool.
through college. I remember there was one year we were at Disney. We went to Disney Springs on Christmas, and we walked into the Lego store, and my dad was like, "Okay, you can either all get one big set, or you can each get one small set, but you've got a minute to decide and pick one."
That's kind of fun, though.
Yeah, it was great.
Fun.
It was great. So then we were like, let's get our own, and then we ran out and dispersed. I got the TIE Striker. I think it was around when Rogue One came out.
I was in my dark age.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool, dude. That's one of my favorite sets, honestly.
I don't even know what's.
I
don't even know what set that is.
It's
what, that's freaky because I like to think I know a lot at this point.
You don't know which one it is.
But Star Wars, it's Star Wars City and Friends. It's real. Oh, Ninja. In fact, all of them. it's there's a good chunk of sets that came out in a decade that I have no idea.
Interesting.
Because I went to my dark age in 2004, 2 around that time.
And when did you get back into it?
2017.
Okay.
So that's a good.
So it's
chunk.
it was right after, or right before that, maybe a year or two. But yeah, so they never actually stopped buying us Lego, which
cool.
I've always appreciated for sure. Every Christmas, there's always a picture of us with the Disney Castle or a Star Wars set or something that we're all building. That's kind of the activities. Watch a Christmas movie, build some Lego. It's awesome.
Your family has one great tradition that I was a part of witnessing for the first time, which thank you for sending me that.
Yeah, of course.
Can you describe what that is right quick?
So
you put it on YouTube, so it's public.
What it is, what it is every year our family records a Christmas song and then films a music video.
Yeah, music video.
And
that is one of the most Filipino things ever.
Sing your song and record the video. Record the video. The video. But it wasn't even us that started it. We have cousins that also do it, and they've been doing it since they were yay high. And
but do they have your editing skills?
Well, so that's the difference, right? That's the difference is they always record their song in one take, and they just kind of record it live and then post it, add some pictures of each of them throughout the year. Where ours is more focused on the actual music video.
Yours is legit.
I appreciate that.
I remember when you sent it to me, I'm like, oh yeah, because I already knew what it was.
Yeah, sure.
Before you sent, so when you sent me the link of the video, and I was like, oh, I get to actually see this live. I don't have to see I have to go back and see it you post it somewhere else. And so I'm watching it, and I'm just smiling the whole time because not only that, it's just a cool thing to have as a greeting card, right?
Yeah.
It's a cool Christmas card. Essentially, that's what it is.
Right.
But you took it to triple level. Yeah. It's an entire performance and then an entire post performance of editing and just trying to put everything together. But the best part of it is that your entire family is in it. Yeah. And that's just something to literally cherish.
I know.
And you guys are
great.
And you guys aren't kids.
I know.
Like, you're grown ass men. Like, you know, and then your mom's there. Like, it's very, very heartwarming.
We have a great time with it.
It's great.
It's a ton of fun. And I feel like every year more and more people are, for example, I'll see people throughout the holidays and, oh, it's so great to see you. Like this year it was like, it's so great to see you. How was Austin? When's the Christmas video coming out? You know, like
one of those people. On December 1st, I'm like, where's the Christmas card?
Is it? You know, jeez, Mariah Carey,
like,
she's on it. Where are the
I feel like everyone this year kind of made me, my wife and I feel like we don't do squat like this.
Okay.
Because one, you know, I got a couple Christmas cards from people within the Lair community, you know, especially like the true homies.
Yeah.
I got it from like Josh, Holly sent me one.
Nice.
Family Brick sent me one. And then a few more that I can't recall on top of my head.
Yeah.
But, you know, and then I got your video. And I'm like, Venus and I, my wife, and I'm like, wow, we don't do anything like this. Like, we need to start doing something like this. Because we do take Christmas pictures, but we never like give it away. You know what I mean?
And I really think that video, I forget the first year that we did it, but it was really my older brother that was like, I want to do this. We should do this. Instead of my parents pushing us to do it. It's always kind of been his thing that he works on. He's the one that edits everything.
Oh, you couldn't even take that credit? You should have just taken that credit.
No. It's all him. It's all him.
So who writes the music then? Or yeah, just free? I know I've seen you guys kind of just free playing. So
sometimes, yeah. This year it was more just like figuring it out as we were recording it, which was kind of fun. It made me feel like more of like a rock star, you know? You're just like, let's figure it out and record it. There was one point where I was trying to sing something, like sing a line, and I kept singing the wrong note. And my dad was like, no, that was wrong. Rewind the tape, do it again. No, that was wrong. And I was like, I don't know what's happening. Maybe I need someone else's voice. So Nathan, you record. So my little brother, he goes in, starts recording. He's sings the wrong note. My dad's like, no, that's the wrong note. And I was like, I didn't want to say it, but I was like, Dad, I think you got the wrong note there. I think it's wrong. And sure enough, it was wrong. We played it back. We figured it out. Or I should say he figured it out. And sometimes it's very regimented of here is the sheet music.
So you guys pull out sheet music.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it's sheet music and it's like all arranged and everything. And other times it's let's figure out this song and
do you guys go balls out?
Yeah,
it's like prepared. That's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
Do you think that's gonna get even more? So imagine doing the same card 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Is it gonna be?
That's the thing that I keep thinking about.
If you're trying to up yourselves.
Well, that's one thing is we're always like,
are you trying to up yourselves?
Not really.
Or just trying to keep it fun.
It's always just a question of we always think after posting it like, how are we gonna do it better next year, you know? Yeah. And I think really it just comes down to us having fun with it. The idea this year was to have it themed to Ted Lasso because my family, we are huge Ted Lasso fans. And that was a fun kind of change of pace. We did like a Christmas movie version a few years ago, and that was fun because I love movies. But yeah, I don't know what we'll do next year. For the most part, with that video, I'm just a passenger princess. I'm just like, you tell me when to show up and what to sing and what to do on camera, and I will do it. I had a friend who was like, what are you guys doing for the Christmas video this year? And it was like, oh, no. It was November. So we usually record it over Thanksgiving break. And I was like,
that's one of the traditions then during Thanksgiving dinner, huh?
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
If you watch it back, the scenes where we're outside in front of our house playing the instruments, our family is like the audience or whatever. And there are a bunch of people wearing Lions gear because they just came from the game to Thanksgiving dinner. So they got the Lions gear on. But yeah, my friend was like, what's the song that you guys are doing? And we always keep it a secret. But this year I was like, I forget. I honestly, I really couldn't tell you. Yeah. I don't know. So, but yeah, it's a fun time.
I don't know. I appreciate it. So thank you for sending that video.
Yeah, of course,
to
man.
me. And it looks like you have a very strong family like connection, which has prevailed from when you were a kid till now.
For sure.
If then some. I mean, I feel like any possibility for children in any of your brothers?
Not in the near future. I don't think. I was going to make a joke, but I shouldn't even make a joke about that. But But that's kind of been my
If it's too bad, I can just take it out.
my question. Oh yeah, that's true. We're not live.
We're not live. Dude. We're not live. I have the power.
I was gonna say unless there's like a really bad mistake.
No,
but you know,
that's not bad. I was an accident. It's fine. I turned out fine.
You turned out great.
Yeah, I turned out fine.
So tissue.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was thinking like when we get married and start having kids, will it become we do our own videos,
That was
our
that's where I was
families,
gonna get at.
and then we're competing? Or is it?
Well, you do your
we
own
just
little
do a
ones,
whole-
and then you do one
I
big
don't
one.
know. I don't know.
That's one of that's one of those reasons of trying to up yourself. Is like,
right.
it's only going to take one of you to make your own video,
I
and that
know.
might cause some little drama.
I know.
and
It's like the band splitting up and the first band member doing a single. You know,
Yeah,
like their
exactly.
own album.
Exactly. No, but still though, you have the very. I like as a kid, like I always wanted that big, strong family connection. I didn't really have it like my, because my mom moved here by herself.
Okay. Okay. I didn't know that.
My dad knocked her up.
Okay.
So, but we have a very big family in the Philippines. My dad has a big family here, but I was always like in this weird spot where I couldn't really connect with both sides.
Yeah.
So, our family parties were mainly, going to friends' houses and stuff like that.
Sure.
So, when I watch stuff like yours, it really like, I'm kind of jealous. I wish I had that. But doesn't mean that I can't do that because now I have my own family.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out, or we're trying to figure out things that we want to always do with them. And like, well, the only actual tradition that we have right now is like we go to where we get married every year.
Okay.
So for where Venus and I had our wedding, we visit that same spot every year and take 2 photos in 2 same places.
I love that.
So like as you can see, as we grow up, you can put them all against the wall and you can be like, oh, child 1, child 2. Boom, 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 we're getting older until we're old and gray, or until the place burns down or something.
Yeah.
But that's like the only thing. But then when we watch stuff like yours, we're like, oh, we need to do more things.
Yeah.
And then at least until these kids want to stop doing it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and I think part of it is like with the video, it really was my brother's idea, and my younger brother and I kind of were like, we should let's definitely do that. And because it was our idea, we're almost like dragging our parents along, like, come on, like, we're going to do the Christmas video. What are we doing? We always have like a family meeting. All right, who has ideas for the song? What songs do we like? And there's like a loose schedule, I guess, of who the soloist is, and depending on the song and everything. But it was really like us pushing our parents to want to do that.
I know they sing and play music, but aside from their actual day jobs, is creativity like a big part of them? Or is it just a Filipino thing?
It's my dad throughout college. So in college he was in the men's glee club, and then within the glee club there's a cappella group as well. And so that's where he learned how to arrange music. And then he has an a cappella group that he sings in. So that's like
awesome,
that's like a continuous thing for sure. And music is just like everywhere. We for New Year's Eve this year, we have family friends who it's basically like a jam session. It's the best thing ever. It's like the New Year's Eve where you don't know what time it is, and then like you're playing a song, and then all of a sudden someone starts counting down, and it's like 3, 2, 1, woo, and then like back to jamming. It's like it's amazing.
It's cool.
It's so fun.
It's cool.
My mom, she'll be the first to tell you she doesn't sing well, but they all
sound fine to me. Yeah.
She really tries to pull her own weight in like making up for it. So she plays the bass. She kind of realized like, okay, Adam plays guitar, my dad plays guitar, Robert plays the drums, Nathan plays piano. We don't have a bass. We need someone to play bass. So she learned the bass. She learned the bass. She started taking some lessons and stuff. She also plays the harp, which is really cool.
Oh, so she knows how to pluck well. It's
yeah.
She's good.
Slapping the bass. That's my mom. So.
Oh man, the harp is such a beautiful instrument.
Truly.
So I remember the first time, like when I was little, and I saw a person bring it out, and it started just playing at it. I'm like, whoa, that's a lot.
And it seems so effortless, but it really there's so much that goes into it.
But they're so graceful, like especially when you have a harpist, like they really know what they're doing. They're like really like
I know
they're moving with it. I'm like, wow, that is a very beautiful thing to see. Like I like watching musicians that know how to play their instruments well. They've been doing it for a while. You can see the emotion, like when a violinist plays, like when they're doing vibrato on their move. I play violin, so I can do it.
Okay, okay.
So one of that, or like a celloist, or a pianist, or like even when you get like the brass instruments,
violin or piano. Those are the Asian choices.
yeah. But even when you see like the percussion instruments like really hammered in, and or like brass, they're really like feeling the pump of the music. Like it's when you have a harp though, it's so graceful.
I know.
It's just like so graceful.
You almost don't even realize that like the music is coming from the harp. Does that make sense?
It's kind of like there's a delay of sound.
Yeah.
Because once your hand's like right here, you hear what's already been plucked. And like it's, I don't know, we can get into that nerdum in another time. But you had a very strong family dynamic at home, and then you left.
Yeah, it's true.
And you're here in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, cried for like an hour and a half in the car driving away. It was a miracle that I didn't get in an accident. But yeah,
what's that like? Because I want to move out of state only because I want a bigger house.
Yeah,
and pay no taxes.
Yeah. I heard you talking about that with was it MKM or
yeah. I don't pay taxes over
here. So it's really been great, honestly. Like had an apartment. Moved back into my parents' house and was just like, I gotta move somewhere else and just get a change of scenery. And my mom had been pushing it for a while. She was like, you should move to a different city, experience a different life for a couple of years. You can always come back if you want to, but like that's what I did. That's what your dad did. It's good to do that.
If you have the ability to do that, I always recommend it.
Right. Yeah, and I was like, nothing's tying me down. My family will always be here.
Also makes you appreciate home a lot more.
Oh, dude, totally. For no one tells you when you move out of state for the first time and you're living by yourself that the first like 4 or 5 months just suck. And like I was just like, I don't want to meet anybody, but I also don't want to be alone, and and it was really going through a lot of different emotions, which was really good for me to work through. Once I kind of got over that hurdle, everyone, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm moving to Austin. They would just be like, oh, it's really hot down there. It's like, yeah, no shit.
It does not feel hot right now. It's 30 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
I got back from Florida. I was like, is this Michigan? It's 27 degrees right now. It's gonna snow. What's happening?
It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Why is it 31?
I know. I was actually like a little pissed off coming home. I was like,
I was like, is this place gonna shut down?
It really does. If the weather gets too bad, like people don't know how to drive, the roads are bad, like like
at least it's not snowing.
Yeah, it's true.
Because the snow what really destroyed you guys a couple years ago.
Yeah, that's true.
Not doing that.
That's true.
At least not right now.
Where was I going? Oh yeah. So people would say like, oh, it's really hot. I'd be like, yeah, no shit. But no one ever says like, moving away from home it's tough. Because they don't want to scare you.
Well, you're alone.
Yeah.
You don't have the safety net that you would if you were 100 miles away, 50 miles away, 10 miles away. If something happens to you, you got to figure it out.
You got to deal with it.
It's, as much as your parents or your brothers would want to be there to help you,
right?
Immediately, they can't do squat for you.
Yeah, I know. And even like dealing with my car battery being dead, I was like, I'm not calling my parents. Like, I'm going to figure this out on my own. Like, I got to do it. And I did end up calling them a couple times. But it was more to just update them because they knew what had happened. Yeah. So I called my dad yesterday. I was like, we're going to have to tell it. It needs a new battery. Just want to give you an update. He was like, okay. He had the same problem. His car died too. Yeah. And so I was like, you want me to fly up? I can help you out, Dad, if you really want me to. If you need my help. Yeah, other than that, the big test for me was my grandma's 90th birthday was in August. Mm-hmm. So I went home for the first time. And the test for me was, how will I feel leaving home after being home for a few days? Yeah. And leaving the airport, I was like, or getting off the plane, I should say. I was super excited to be back. And I was like, all right, that's a great sign. Mm-hmm. That is a great sign. And that was really when things started to like turn for me of like wanting to meet people more. Mm-hmm. That's when the Blairs reached out. Honestly, it was like right around that time that I started following them. And if they had followed me and messaged me like 2 months earlier and said, "Oh, we live in Austin too," I would have been like, "Dope, maybe we'll meet eventually."
Yeah.
But because of the emotional like work that I did, I guess, I was like, amazing, let's be friends. Let's go on a run tomorrow or something. It was like a very, very fast like meeting.
Yeah, you guys are both very active,
But,
and you both make me feel like I'm old.
So
every time I see your stuff, I'm like, damn,
yeah,
I should be doing more.
It is what it is, right? But yeah, they've been awesome because they were in a similar situation where it was like they didn't move down here for a job. A lot of times when you move to a new city and you already have a job set up there, you're automatically going to meet people through that.
Yeah.
And not having that, I was like, okay, how do I meet people? It was like the whole thing of like, am I gonna make friends? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
No one's gonna like me or whatever. But they were in a similar boat of like, how do we meet people? And so we met up, and rest is history. They've been awesome.
So you came here without a job first?
Without a job, because I work remotely.
Yeah.
You know? And so I was just like, I can live anywhere in the world.
Okay, it's one of those. Okay, I get it.
So where would I want to live? Austin, Texas sounds dope.
Great.
So cool, let's go there.
So I've been trying to push or pull my wife to move out of California. You know, 2 options were Florida and Texas because you know, it just benefits us like economically.
Yeah, for sure.
The problem is with us is just family because we have 2 small kids, so that kind of makes it a little harder.
Yeah, for sure.
But you know, we don't know. But she's here with me. We'll Gene somewhere.
We'll see how much fun we can have. I know.
It's cold.
And it was 70 degrees yesterday, and today the sun was out, and I was like, oh, maybe it's warm.
Where it's 70 degrees?
No, it's not.
LA is 70 degrees right now. You can't beat our weather. Our weather like kills it.
Dude.
That's worth the $2 million home right
Bro, man.
It was 81 degrees in Christmas.
Dang.
It's just a beautiful place to live. It's just, if you take the politics out, if you take out the expensive way of life and taxes, it's a great place to live.
Yeah.
So much you can do.
It's really nice, except for this, and this. But it's really nice.
But they're really important things to note. But running.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at your medals. You just completed the Dopey Challenge. What is that?
It's 5K, 10K, half marathon, full marathon, 4 days in a row.
Wow.
At Disney. Yeah. It's a friend called me yesterday because he was like, I want to run a marathon and I don't know what I'm doing. And I was like, great, you're not supposed to know what you're doing. Just go out and run. But I was like, let's chat about it. I remember like getting into running and how reckless I was with it. And I'm kind of like,
okay, define reckless when you're running?
Reckless is running a marathon after training for 30 days and never having run more than 2 miles. That's reckless. Yeah.
The mental determination is really
well, and that's what
it is.
When it comes to running more than, I would say, like 10 miles, it's all just a mental. It's a mental battle.
More than 5 miles
and that's it. Yeah, exactly. Right. Well, and I think like there is a sense there is a certain amount of physicality that goes into it, and also it depends on how fast you're running and all that stuff. But if you're not worrying about pace and you're just going out and running,
just survive it.
It's just
mental. It's all mental.
Yeah. But so I was like, I didn't know what I was doing. I'm like just now learning about the different training days that you're supposed to do. Like I don't even know what they're called, right? But it's like speed training.
Okay.
Where you're not going out and running for 5 miles continuously, but you're doing like laps around a track, and then you like take a extended period of break, and then you do it again, but it's at a faster pace.
Okay.
I'm learning about stuff like that. I'm learning about like the different heart rate zones that I should be in. I had no idea anything
about
up on
my watch. You're in zone 2. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah. I like now I'm starting to understand it.
The science behind it all?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But before it was just like, I'm going to go out, I'm going to run, and then I'm going to come back and then eat a bunch of food. Like that was my running plan.
So now you're going out for pace then.
Yeah. So
how long did it take you to run 26 miles?
This last one, I think it was like 5 hours, 45 minutes, something like that.
At what pace?
Well,
I know it fluctuates.
It fluctuated.
There's no way.
Towards the beginning, I was rocking like a 10-minute pace. By the end, it was probably like, 14, something like that.
But did you stop at all? I mean, even
stopped. Yep, I stopped there. With Disney races, there's characters that you can take pictures with.
Mm-hmm.
There's you can go on rides if they're open. So I got on Expedition Everest.
Wait, you just stop running and get on a ride?
You literally like the course passes right by the entrance for the ride.
That's a good rest break.
And yeah, it was great, dude. It was so awesome. So we stood in line for like 10 minutes. They let us go through the fast pass, the lightning lane line. Got on, met a guy who he was running his first marathon. His name was Robert. I was like, we're best friends now. We had an awesome time and then got off and kept running and went our separate ways. But
did he pass you out or did
I was trying to remember. I think that he jetted off pretty quickly.
You're like, nah.
I was like, I've already done 22 miles at this point.
Oh, so he didn't run the one.
He was just doing the marathon.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
you're tired. You have every reason to not. I'll just walk.
So it's funny because I had a conversation with Martin Brick Snaps, who both times I saw him ran into him randomly. It was not planned, but we just happened to see each other, which was awesome. And he is always in Corral A, which is always like the fastest runners. And I had several friends that were in that corral, and I was looking at their pictures like, damn, they got some really good pictures. And then I looked at mine and I was like, mine suck.
No, your pictures are great.
Suck. I like each race, I had like one good picture, one really good picture. But I realized like when they're out on the course, there aren't as many people.
Yeah.
And so there aren't as many people that the cameramen have to take pictures of. So I was like, all right, I'm getting in Corral A so I can get better pictures next year. Like
and then just fall back.
That's my only reason. I just want the good pictures, but it's a good way to like, I don't know, mask the running for pace thing. Because I've always been weary of like focusing on my pace and how fast I'm running and all that stuff. Because that's not why I started in the first place. It was really just the mental fortitude.
Yeah.
So I've always been focused on not getting into that. So it feels like I'm going against my ideals a little bit of starting to put more weight and more focus towards it.
Yeah. So my goal for 2025 is to do a marathon. And I love it. Just be done with it. The goal is to do a marathon.
Do one,
just
and you're done.
My body's really jacked up. So like my knees are shot. I had surgery on my knees. My back's messed up. And I feel like in the past has always been my crutch. Like I just accept the fact that I'm jacked up and I can't do it. Instead of just like, screw it, just do it until you can't do it no more.
Right.
And I think, because I mean, I've never really trained to long distance run. Like running's in my blood because my family all run. My dad is a track star in his heyday, and he coaches till this day track. But I never really took his lessons to heart or paid attention to any of it when I was in track for like a split second. But I was never in like cross country, so I don't know how to like run for long periods of time.
Yeah.
And then when I started to run for long periods of time was the Marine Corps.
Right.
But then it's not science of running. It's run until we say stop.
Right. And it's the mental. Yeah. It's the mental, right?
So, but that's how we get jacked up. Because we're not really focusing on technique. We're not focusing on our breathing. We're just survive.
Right.
So, I've ran very far, way past. I don't think 26 miles total at one time, but 26 miles within a week, or like way past a half marathon just with boots and utilities, which sucks.
Right.
I just don't know, and I remember how easy it was back then. But me just running, I think right now I'm at like 6 miles.
Okay.
At the most. I'm dying. Like I'm dying. So I mean, this is what I'm currently doing right now. And let me know if I should be focusing on something different. But every week I try to run more than the week before.
Okay.
So total wise. So like this week I'll run 10 miles.
Okay.
Next week I'll run 11 miles.
Yeah.
The following week I'll go back down 10 miles to relax a little bit. Then go up 13 miles that week after.
And this is like total, right?
Total.
It's not like at one time.
So like
I love that.
So like I'll start. Mondays are always like my heaviest one. So I'll run like 3.5 to 4 miles that one Monday. And then Tuesday I run 2.5. And then Wednesday I run 1. And then Thursday I run another 3.5. And then Friday I run whatever's left. And then I increase that number every single time to a point where I know the route so well that if I do 2 of these laps, it's 6.5 miles.
Right.
7 miles.
Yeah.
I know I should be focusing on other things like my breathing and all that kind of stuff. And I'm trying to figure that all out. And I'm trying to ask people that do like long marathons, like, okay, should I be running fast for three minutes and then stop?
Yeah.
And I walk for a minute.
Right.
Run fast for 2 minutes, jog for a minute. Like long distance wise, what do you think?
It's interesting because it's like content creation.
Yeah.
Right. When you ask someone, hey, I want to start making videos, where should I post it to? You got one person that says TikTok, that's the way to go. That's the fastest way to monetize. You got other people that are like, no, YouTube, like they pay the big bucks. And other people are like, no, Twitch, like that's way easier and da-da-da-da. And like everyone has their thing that works for them. And you'll always find evidence of whatever you want to work for you, like
of course, yeah,
for other people.
That makes sense.
Like my friend who called me yesterday was like, I read that for long distance running you shouldn't drink coffee and you shouldn't do like pre-workout and da da da. I drink
coffee right before
and I was like, dude, I drink coffee before I run, so I can take a shit and I don't have to worry about the farts.
Sometimes I'm like, right? Oh damn, I should.
Dang it, I didn't have my coffee.
No, it's not that. It's like I gotta go, and I'm like, damn, I got 2 more miles left.
I know.
Just stop turning around.
But I was like, yeah, and I'm like double shot of espresso, cappuccino every day, sometimes twice a day. Yeah, so me. Like, I don't know what the other people are saying, but I'm running just fine, drinking lots of coffee. What I do is I do a 90-30 run. So I'll run for 90 seconds and then walk for 30 seconds for any distance.
For all of them?
For any distance over like 6 miles.
Okay.
That's always what I'm doing.
So you jog your first 6 miles and then you start doing the 90-30?
Yep. Basically, yeah. Well, actually, no, sorry. If it's a 6 mile or less run, I'll basically just run it.
Yeah.
But if I'm doing like a half marathon,
yeah.
I'll run the first half mile and then immediately after that I start 90-30s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because after 6 miles, the reason why I cap at 6 all the time is because after 5, my knee starts to give hard.
Yeah.
Like it starts to swell up and I can't do anything.
Yeah, that's tough.
And every time I hit that roadblock, and that's always been the mental blocks. Like you only have another mile left before your knee gives out. So what are you gonna do? And then my Marine brothers are like, just put braces on. You got this. So I'm like,
you brace it. You can tape it. You could, there's a bunch of different things that you can try.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
For this marathon, like I was in rough shape. Like I hadn't seen a chiropractor in months, and it was just like, I've got a bullet wound bleeding out. Like let's put some Band-Aids on it and get through the finish line, and then we can reassess after that. And so I was trying all different sorts of things. I was doing some icy hot and like I did tape. I was thinking about just buying like a compression sleeve for it. Went to a chiropractor I'd never seen before and he adjusted me, which is like, you should never do that. Unless you get like the x-rays and all that jazz.
Plugging wounds.
With massage therapist and she did like the cupping thing. And it was very much like, what are the quick remedies to make me feel good enough to run this marathon. And honestly throughout it I felt really great. It was just a matter of like getting my feet moving.
Do you find it where like once you're moving, you're gold?
Yeah, it's one of those things where I laugh about it. The thing that gives you pain is also the thing that alleviates that pain. So it's like best remedy for hangover, start drinking again, And
I get that.
A lot of times, like if my back is kind of hurting, I'm like, okay, let me go for like a 2-3 mile run. And afterwards, like it doesn't.
Well, a lot of warming up and getting your blood, like getting your body stretching. So you could technically do that without running. Exactly. But running does help a lot with having to do a lot of things that you're supposed to do anyways.
For sure.
With all that. But I just want to say that you amongst a lot of the Austinites apparently motivate me in my running.
Well, I appreciate that.
Especially in the leg community. I've always been around runners in my entire life. I've always, been around a lot of people that work out hard, and I worked out hard for one point in my life. Well, actually, a lot of points in my life. Now it's a little harder. Once you hit 30, bro,
Yeah.
It's so hard to get to where you were.
Yeah.
So enjoy it while you have it.
I know.
Run as many marathons before your knees are like, stop, Rob, we can't do this no more. Or start doing Ironmans or something like that. But again, like
swimming, that's a big thing.
Swimming sucks. Yeah. Swimming sucks a lot.
I know.
I'm an okay swimmer. In the Marine Corps, you have to swim.
Of course.
I'm like,
of course.
I'll survive. I'll tread water for as long as I need to, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But watching you guys run a lot, just in your stories and stuff you post online, it's like, okay, I've always told myself I'm going to do this. So 2025, I'm going to do it. If not before, even if to walk the whole thing, I know there's a finish line. I don't care if there's no one there at the end. I just want to make sure I can do 26 miles before it's over.
And when you cross the finish line, like there's a sense of pride that you feel in yourself. For me, like my parents, they've always been at every marathon that I've done, which I'm so appreciative of.
Dopey too?
That's my favorite thing is like running down Main Street. I've got some awesome videos of me like hugging my mom, hugging my dad. But there's a sense of pride when you finish, which for me was a very foreign thought. Mm-hmm. I remember the first time finishing the Dopey, I was like, I'm really proud of myself. And I was like, well, I've never really thought that before. But it's one of those things where it's like, I have so much pride in myself and what I was able to do that there could be no other congratulations or no one say I'm proud of you, and I would be totally fine. Like my cup is filled. Dude. Which that's why I run. It's not to, lose weight or whatever. It's like it's the pride thing for me. So
that was motivating as hell, man.
Yeah. That was really good. It's what it comes down to. That's why I love it.
So then you're starting to implement that more in your actual channel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, and it was a thought that dawned on me. Like, there's so many other areas of my life that the people that follow
me. Where's your hat?
It's up there. It's up there. Yeah.
I'm like looking at you like,
can you see it?
Yeah. No. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You can over there.
Just a little bit.
All right. I'm like looking at you. I'm like, there's something off.
I love that. Well, I can't have the headphones. I guess I can put them like behind.
No, anyways.
So there's so many different things about my life that I'm passionate about, but wasn't sharing on my page. And it was like Robert the Lego person versus like Robert the human being. So that was where I was like, okay, I can start posting other stuff besides just the Lego. And it was Bryce Swolebricks that like immediately when I saw his page, I was like, that guy did it right.
He makes me feel fat.
That guy, yeah. And he makes me feel like not skinny, but the scrawny. That's the, But immediately when I saw his page, I was like, he did it the right way. Mm-hmm. In that he started posting Lego stuff, but he was also consistently posting lifting stuff.
Yeah.
And then we hung out a lot at Brick World Chicago, and like it was like every single conversation. Someone that met him, it was like, yeah, man, I really got to get back into the gym. I'm going to do it after this convention or whatever. And I was like, what a great way to connect with someone other than through the Lego stuff, because that's the thing that we all have in common. So it kind of gets boring at a convention to be like, oh, Gene and I made the video about it, right? It's
the same
that
was funny. Yeah,
same questions.
That was a great reel.
I appreciate that. But so what's the other common ground that I share with people that could blossom into a great friendship, like with the Blairs or with Gene, like we go running all the time, or just like a conversation at a convention, or over DMs or whatever. There was it was Nikki Bricks. She posted, I think it was like a lightsaber video on her YouTube, and it like didn't do well at all. And we were texting about it, and she was like, yeah, well, I guess I should just stick to the Lego stuff. Like, I'm never doing that again. And I was like, well, wait a second. Like, is it because the video wasn't good, or was it because your audience just isn't used to you posting that sort of content? And they weren't expecting it, and they don't know you as someone that would make a video like that. And she was like, oh yeah, that's kind of a good point. And so I was like, okay, so the running thing, that can be something that I post in and of itself without the Lego. But I kind of started it the same way. I just took Bryce's videos and I was like, I'm gonna do exactly that, but instead of weightlifting, I'm gonna do running. And like, shout out to Bryce because he was super kind about it. We had a conversation at Brick World, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna start doing what you're doing, but with running. And he was like, you should totally do that. Like, absolutely. It was the same conversation that you had with MKM about the theme park video, and it was one of those things where it's like, I didn't need to really say it or like kind of ask for his permission, but it would have felt weird not to.
The respect there. Well, I mean, because you also know him.
Yes.
And you don't want to look like you're biting off him.
For sure.
But,
for sure.
You know, I think it's good to have some sort of thing that kind of makes you separate from everybody else that's doing better content, because it can get very dry.
Sure. That was the main purpose of the fedora initially. It was like, I need something.
It's branding.
So yeah, that people can describe me without
That's why I wear the
saying
veteran
Lego.
hat.
Exactly. Yeah. Right? It's like, oh, Shy. You know Shy, right? No, I don't think so. He's the guy with the veteran hat. Oh yeah. I know Shy. Yeah. Same thing.
So,
it's the guy with the fedora.
So having another thing only pulls a double loyalty to someone that really wants to watch, or you're trying to make them watch your stuff because you're applying two things that someone else loves. It just makes it just the only downside about that kind of alienates a lot of other people.
What do you mean?
So like if I really focus on my content with just veterans, a lot of people who aren't veterans aren't going to understand what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So does it really make, not saying that it's a bad thing.
Right.
It just kind of, you niche up. You niche even more.
You got two different niches now that you're tailoring to.
Now you're really like narrowing it down. So, well, I mean, to get an explosive growth of that, I don't think it's like going to happen a lot.
Yeah.
But what it does on the other side is that it builds kind of a loyalty of audience that will stick with you for the long run. And in a lot of ways, that's actually very important.
Yeah.
Because when you really shoot for the stars and you get that home run with a bunch of people watching your stuff, you don't know if they're going to click on your next video.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I know that I like to run or I like to lift weights, and I also like Lego, I'm going to watch these guys because that's all they do. They lift with Lego, they run with Lego. I mean, if you could really apply it with the Lego, like every mile I build a new set, like that would be, if you could kind of generalize it in that way, I think it'd really explode.
I know. And that was one thing that like after, dude, the amount of like workout videos and stuff that came out after Brick World Chicago was like hilarious to me. Like everyone was doing workout videos. And it was just like, how do I take the running and merge it with the Lego other than the new release videos? So it would be like a video of me running or whatever, and I'm like pointing to like new Lego release, and then it's cool. Like different pictures of the Lego set.
I remember I think it was Josh, like he did a video a while back where he's just like going for a walk or a run while he's doing something, and he got tired out by the end of it. He's like, this was a bad idea.
I don't think I saw that.
It was an older video, and I'm like, he was just describing what's coming out or something, and he's like, I don't think it's a good idea.
I love Josh's videos. Dude, when I first met him, I've never even told him this, but when I first met him, it's the same humor that you get in the videos when you actually meet him in person, right? The same exact person. But I didn't understand that. Like, I didn't get it, and I hadn't seen any of his videos before. So I thought that he was just like this very negative Nancy person. No. And then I saw his videos, and they're fucking hilarious.
They're great.
They're so good. Great. And they're so well done. He puts, you can really tell he like cares and puts a lot of effort into his videos. Yes. And man, what a guy. I don't see him too often, but when I do, like, I really am excited to see him. So, but it's Nicholas Gooth on Instagram. He is also a runner, and he's doing this thing where it's not really a review of the set, but it's like he'll pick a set, and then depending on how many minifigures are in the set,
is that the amount of Nathan did a collab with?
Yes. Yeah. And he'll run that amount of miles.
Yeah.
And I was like, Oh, that's such a good idea.
That's the kind of stuff that, like, I think if you really implement both of those, for me, the veteran thing's kind of easy because I could just get military Lego and I can talk about that for days. But you know, I should technically be doing something more broad scale that kind of makes it more entertaining for a more mass audience to be able to gain that type of love for it. Yeah, and I think with running, that's something like that.
Dude, his videos are so good too.
Easy,
like,
yeah.
I watch every single one, and there's like this respect and jealousy that comes out of me because I'm like, oh, it's such a great video. Like, damn it, why didn't I think of that? It's such a great idea. So
I mean, but it's that same type of mentality. Like, how cool would it be if like Swolebricks came up and is like weightlifting, benching with Lego like plates?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Like
I built an Olympic sized bar made out of Lego, and I see how many just start stacking weights of Lego, even if it's just tubs of Lego strapped to string and start pumping it. You know, like
that's a great idea.
Like really implementing like your two passions and putting it into one single spot. I think if you can figure out a way to make it entertaining, you forget that it's about Lego or if it's about running. It's just now you're like more. It's just a video. It's just a video to watch that's very interesting. And if you could do multiples of that, you'll not only get the people that are like, yeah, Rob's the running guy, but you know, Swolebricks is the weightlifter, right? You know, Shy's the vet. You know, that's already known. You know that. But they're going to continue to watch whatever you post, regardless as if it's the true videos about the running or about the Lego. So just thinking in that mentality space, I think you can kill it. Lots
to
digest.
Yeah, for sure. Digest, create, think about. And the other thing now that I'm getting into, which like I was looking at my page and I was like, all right, I kind of got to get back to some Lego stuff here. Well, it's lots of Disney stuff right now.
That's what you've been doing. You went on a cruise?
I went on a cruise.
Oh, man.
And also, well, real quick before we go into the cruise, it's still like a good time to get into the Disney stuff for me because like Disney or Lego just released some really dope Disney sets this past year. Whoa. Like,
it's no level.
So, yeah, I'm definitely going to make some videos about those sets because like they killed basically every single one. So they look so great.
We're kind of running late there.
I know. But it'll still be a good marriage, I think, between the two for my videos. But yeah, so the cruise, we went on a 7-day cruise, which was awesome. I sorely misjudged sleeping in the same room as my two brothers for 7 days. I didn't think about it at all at first, and by the end, we were all like, get us off this boat or at least out of this room, you know, like spend as little amount of time in the room as possible. Other than that, though, it was a ton of fun. It was a great time.
I mean, cruises are fun in general with the right people that you go with.
Totally.
But a Disney cruise, though, it's a pretty penny.
Yeah.
A very pretty penny. But it looked amazing.
It was a great time. It was, and I forget.
The food looked so good.
You know what it was? So Disney just came out with like their newest
ship. Is that what you're on?
No, but we had originally booked it for that one. It was the Disney Wish, and it was postponed. Our sail date. We were going to be like the first inaugural cruise or whatever, right? But the ship wasn't ready in time, so they had to postpone it. So they were like, you can rebook it, or you can get like a 50% off any other Disney cruise. And so we were like, we'll take the 50% off, and we're doing a 7-day cruise instead of 3. Fantasy.
Oh, that's
Disney Fantasy.
That's like the more OG looking newer ship.
I think it's the third. I think it's the third one that came out, and the first one that had the aqueduct slide.
Yeah, but you don't have the crazy like the Avengers.
No, no, none of that.
I actually want to do that ship more than the newer stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah,
only because I've been watching reviews of cruises for some reason. I don't know why.
Watch my vlogs, dude.
I did. I watched them all. I know it's such you get to enjoy because there was a storm coming and you kind of missed out, which is fine. It's another 2 days on a ship.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Darn
whatever.
It. Darn.
But what I've been seeing is that the ships like the Wish, where it's more kind of new age of Disney.
Yeah.
It doesn't really have that kind of OG feel touch of like Disney like you have on the ship that you're on.
That's
you know what I mean? Because if you look at the main area, where was it, the atrium or like the grand staircase?
Yep.
It's like I'm in a ship.
Yeah.
Right. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, but you still know you're on a ship.
Right.
Like the Titanic kind of a look, kind of feel, if you were to look at it.
Right.
The best way to, because they, Disney tried to really implement the OG type of look of a ship versus like the Carnival. They look so great.
They look so good.
I gotta hand it to their fleet. The cruise fleets look amazing.
Incredible.
Incredible. But the Wish, the rooms really don't feel like
a cruise ship room.
No, they feel like a cruise ship room. It doesn't feel like a Disney room. Because when I was looking at your room, I'm like, yeah, that looks like I'm in like a nice hotel in a Disney hotel.
Yeah.
When I look at the Wish, it feels like the kind of new era type of
interesting,
like Royal Caribbean, but just with Disney stuff all over the place. That's what it feels like.
Okay, I'll have to and then go and look at
and it's kind of cool. Like I do like the whole like the Avengers thing, the different themes.
Yeah.
But it didn't really. Again, you lose the fact that you're on a ship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just feel now you're in a theme park.
Totally. Totally.
on water. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like the best part about a cruise is that you're on a boat.
Right.
And you remember that you're on a ship.
Yeah. The with the 7-day cruise, like there's more days out at sea and you kind of go out a little bit further. Mm-hmm. So like you could feel it rocking the whole time. It was pretty rocky. I thought I was gonna do well, and then I was like, I had like the little sticker thingy that for nausea. No, it helped a lot actually. But I didn't think that I would need it.
Oh no! So I mean, you're pretty high up, right? I think the higher you are, the more you feel that.
We were, I think, level 9.
Yeah, you'll feel
12.
it. Yeah, you'll feel it because it moves. Because it moves more. I remember was like when on the first time I went on a cruise, like I was in the very lower decks, like pitch black, no windows. Best sleep in my life. Yeah, because it's all black. You're just rocking to sleep. You know what I mean? Yeah. And this last one we went, we were pretty high up. We were like, I think 10.
Okay.
So we were high. And I was like, oh, I could definitely feel this. But before we're way past the time, so we're gonna keep going.
Okay, great.
But I'm jealous because I watched all of the views, all the cruise vlogs, and I'm like, wow, this fool's just living the Disney life right now. He's on a ship, and then he's running in Disney World. Yeah, dude, what the hell? What am I doing in my life?
It was a good month.
It was a good month of Disney.
Yeah, truly.
ELPN.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah. It
was a hard left. That was a very not graceful movement from one topic.
Wait. We can do this better. We can do this better. I invited Zane to come with me for my birthday. He couldn't make it, unfortunately. But Zane is my co-parent for our child, ELPN.
What was the episode this past Tuesday? I was expecting it. Yes, what happened? What happened this season, man? This season kind of like fell apart.
I was really hoping that no one would notice.
I noticed that you're in Disney, so I'm like, okay, maybe it was just the holidays that the season just kind of paused for a second, and then wait, hold on, he's still running. Wait, hold on. He said he's going to be on Tuesday. It's Tuesday.
Yeah. So it was basically a miscommunication with our guest, and then I was in a pissy mood because of my car, and
you just didn't feel it.
And I texted the crew and I was like, what do we think? And Stacy was like, I'm good to do it if you guys are. And Zane was like tired with the new baby. And so we were like, let's just postpone for a week.
And then a week happened?
It
hasn't happened yet.
So that was like this past Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
And so next week we'll start things back up with Maticus, who'll be our guest next week.
So you just cancel on your guest this week? You're like, nah, we're not doing it.
No. So she couldn't do it. She couldn't do it, okay. And so we'll reschedule with her for.
I get it.
Later in the season. So
it's her fault.
No.
It's your fault.
No, Ellie, we love you. We love you. It's not your fault.
Depending on when this actually gets released, we'll see. If she comes on, because I don't know when this episode's going to come out. So we'll see if she actually comes on ELPN. Oh, well,
that's true.
What show is that?
That is 3 Figs 1 Set on ELPN.
There you go. All right, what is ELPN? Now I can.
Yeah, ELPN. It was that was you. That was not me. That was totally you. ELPN started at Brickville, Virginia, when Zane and I first met. And it was like the classic, like, we're hilarious, like, we're having so much fun together, like, let's start a podcast, But then it like actually, it's like the trip that leaves the group chat and it like actually happens. We got it started, and from the beginning, we were like, it's going to be a network of shows, and we'll have like several different ones. We're going to start it, and we're going to like get get the ball rolling, and then we can add other podcasts as we go along. And there were people that were like, "That's stupid. Why would you do that? Like, that's a dumb idea." And we were like, so
I've seen it done before in the Lego community, like way back when. This not to the level that you're doing it, where you have different people that I can see your face. They're more like TTV TV, whatever they're called. I forgot what they're called.
Oh, okay.
They focus on like Ninjago stuff. So they kind of have the same kind of concept where they have like different people that just come on and host and do their own things. But I don't see faces. So it's like, or it's just like an avatar. So it's really not the same. You know, there's really nothing like this. If you count ACOB, because now they have 2 shows.
Okay.
But
the minifig
the
one, right?
minifig one.
Yeah,
so I'm happy that they're doing that too. And then obviously they're Thursday. But you know, you have how many shows on there right now?
Right now, it's 1, 2, 3,
name them.
4.
What's name all?
Yeah. Let's see if I can remember all of my children.
Wow.
We got the 2 that I'm on are Hollow Time and 3 Figs 1 Set. There's the Basic Brick with Jillian, and she's been on a break, and she'll get started back up soon. And then Brick at Night is the 4th one and newest one that we added to the catalog.
Who's the host for each one of those?
So Jillian is you're putting me on the spot here.
Hey,
Jillian.
You're the producer.
No, I'm
you
not.
pay the bills.
Yeah, I do. I do pay the bills, but that's about all I do. Everything else is not me. That's why we had Jillian initially. She was the executive producer.
Oh.
That was she was like organizing everything. She would reach out to the guests. She like made the thumbnails. Or no, Zane made the thumbnails. But anyways, so Jillian is Basic Brick. Jake, Lego Jake 8 on Instagram. And Ken Nerd, they are Brick at Night.
Brick at Night.
And then
on Thursdays
at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, yeah. Eastern. And then Hollow Time is myself, Amor, Fred, Nick, Atemaan, who am I forgetting? AZ, and
Harold?
then Harold.
Yeah.
That one's the big one.
That was a Hollow.
Yeah.
I was on that one.
Yes.
Cool.
And I wasn't there. I was
so
heartbroken. I was on a cruise. I was on a cruise.
It's one of my favorite ones to listen to because I laugh every single time. Just because the nostalgia is like always there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, I can talk about this. I actually listen to Hollow Time every time I run.
Oh, okay.
So
I love that.
So
I love
because they're so long.
We're on Spotify. So because I listened to your episode with Holly. You got the Apple Watch and the AirPods into Spotify. Download it.
There you go.
We're doing it just for you, for your runs.
That. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do just listen on YouTube.
Yeah,
that's fine.
That's good too.
Where do you want the watch time? Do you want on YouTube or do you want on Spotify?
Yeah.
Pick one.
YouTube. Okay, YouTube. Yeah.
But then you also have one with Zane and Stacy.
Yes, and that's 3 Figs 1 Set.
And that's the one you're doing right now with you.
Yeah, and that's like that show for me is really my main focus. Hollow Time, I definitely
Bricks and Giggles.
I take
Sorry,
kind
I
of
was trying to plug her handle. I was like, what's your handle again?
For Bricks and Giggles.
Yeah, for Bricks and Giggles. There you go.
But Hollow Time, I definitely take more of a back seat, and I'm just like
Fred.
I'm just
kind of.
Yeah. That's Fred's that's Fred's show really. But I love it because it gives me an opportunity to reminisce on Filipino culture and like also learn a lot about Filipino culture as well. Because as much as I know about it compared to them, it's like I'm learning new stuff every single episode.
We're all Fred and I are similar, but all of us are in different parts of the United States.
Yeah,
and places where I didn't think Filipinos were, like yourself.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
Well,
you guys are Filipino Lion fans. Like, what the hell is going on here, man? Like, it's like when you go to like Antarctica and you find a Filipino just chilling in Antarctica. Like, what are you doing? Cooking adobo. Like, what are you doing?
Seen, what's the guy's name? He's a comedian.
Joe Coy?
From the South. He's a white dude, but he loves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he's funny. He loves Filipinos.
There's a bit of
when he dies, he wants a Filipino to be there.
And there's one where he's like, if you open up God's heart, it's just like 5 Filipino men like sharing an orange. And then there's another one. He's like, he gets asked, who would you send out to meet like the aliens and be like the representative of Earth? And he's like, I think like a short Filipino man, just go up there, and I think that he would really represent the planet Earth really well. And then they're like, no. I'm like, just like an actual person. Who would you choose? And he's like, oh, Manny Pacquiao. I just love his love for Filipinos. It's so great. I've never experienced anything like that before in a person. Manny Pacquiao. Why?
Whatever, man. I'll take it, dude. I'll take it. I'll take it. I appreciate the love for the culture, man.
Truly,
but yeah, Hollow Time. Like I like it because it's I know SoCal Filipino culture. It's where I was raised. So
yeah.
Fred's in the same boat. Like
yeah.
we came from the same area, but somewhat a little bit with Seattle. Portland areas because there's a lot of Filipinos up north that way where you're from, huh?
Yeah,
like you know what I mean.
And there's like a small group of Filipino.
Well, we congregate once we find out. Yeah, we
right. And there's like 5 families that like the dads were all doctors, right? And so they.
That's good that there were doctors and not nurses.
Yeah.
Is that how you make it? Like you have to go somewhere else?
Yeah. Apparently, I don't know.
What's going on here? Everyone else were nurses, man.
But yeah, it's like the heads of the 5 families. And I remember one time.
Sounds so mobbish.
Right. It really does. And like there was one time they all went out to lunch, and like my younger brother was like with my grandpa or something. So he went to the lunch, and I was like, dude, how was it? Like, what was it like? And he was like, it was boring. And I was like, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah.
Like, but it's funny, like, you wouldn't think that there are a lot of Filipinos, but like once we find each other
it sticks
in one place, we're like, all right, we have our group, our core group. And that was like, coming over from the Philippines, my grandparents didn't have family to like spend the holidays with. So then that was their adopted family that they would have Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, all of the holidays with them.
And now you're paving a way for a whole
all right, Filipinos, I'm here. I'm waiting. I'm ready for
there's
you
a lot of Filipinos in Austin, right?
No,
there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a good
I have a couple friends that moved here.
And it's funny because it's always the Filipino, Mexican,
Filipino, Mexican.
Dude, the amount of times that someone comes up to me and starts speaking Spanish, and I'm like, sorry, Filipino.
Same thing, but in Asia.
Yeah. We're just we're you, but Asian.
Yeah, we do what you do, but in Asia,
right,
and Europe.
Well, and you know what's funny is I got back from my flight, went to the Delta Club, and they had chicken adobo and garlic rice as the meal, and I was so happy.
All you need is a Filipino work in the kitchen.
Right. Exactly.
That's really what you need.
They got some Filipinos in the back
like I told Fred when I was on the cruise, when they found out I was Filipino and they asked me for it, if I wanted an adobo, and I was like, nah, I'm good. But then I actually did take it. I'm like, wow, this is the best thing I had this entire trip. It's really good. I don't know how you guys were able to make this here, but
lots of Filipinos on the Disney cruise.
Hey, that's what they do, man.
Yeah, it's true.
That's what they do. So, all right. So, what are the goals then for the rest of the year?
Goals for the rest of the year. The main focus for me right now actually is a sub 2:07 half marathon. That's what I've got my sight set on. And
what is that?
It's like a 9:35 pace.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah, I was looking at marathons, and there's one in March.
LA?
I don't know. No, it's like a local one. It's just like a small thing. I was like, that might be the one, but maybe I'll wait till after the summer. We'll see. We'll see how my body
feels. I mean, you just ran a lot.
I know, but that means I'm in shape, right?
That's true.
I'm geared up. I'm ready to go. But it's like, will my body respond well to jumping right back into training and like intense training? So yeah, that's the main thing.
Oh yeah, we never really got to that record. What is the training like for you right now?
Well, so for the Dopey Challenge, it was 2 45-minute runs on the weekdays, and then typically like
doesn't matter how far it is, you just run for 45 minutes.
Just 45 minutes.
Okay.
And towards the end of training, I realized, okay, that is where you put in the speed workouts or your base runs or whatever else. But throughout training, I would just like go out and run and then like come back. So that's what I would do. I'd set a timer for 23 minutes, run till it went off, and then run back. But and then on like Saturday or Sunday, it would be a certain mile number. So 5 miles, 7 miles, 10 miles, and obviously ramped up as the training went on. I don't really have a set plan when I'm not in an actual training regimen. Right now, it's nothing. I'm really just resting and stretching a lot.
You should relax.
Yeah. But I was telling Danielle, one half of the belayers, that I'm the type of person where it's like, if I sit around and don't run for 2 weeks, it will very quickly turn into 2 months. Like as soon as like 2 months or 2 weeks hits, like probably end of next week, I'm gonna start running again because I just gotta get back into it.
I get it. It's love-hate.
Yeah, for sure.
Running
for sure.
Well, at least for me, like right before you run, it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then like the first minute or two, you're like, I guess, like you're confused, like, okay, I'm good, or this is gonna suck. Yeah, those two options, depending on what you've been eating. It's like I'm good, or this is gonna suck. And then by the time you're like past a mile or two, you're like, okay, I got a groove. Yeah, I'm good. Good. And then a little bit longer, and then I'm like, oh, I'm in a lot of pain. And you figure out, do I keep going or do I not? Yeah. And then you hit the groove again. I'm like, oh no, I'm good. I keep going. And then it just goes in those cycles. And then when you're done, it's like no matter how far you ran, when you're finished, it's like the best feeling ever.
Yeah. Three things with that really quickly. First of all, I realized in my training last year when I was training, at the end of every run, I would celebrate like I was crossing the finish line. Like I put my hands up, like,
that's
let's
cute.
go. And so like one, it's the pride. Like I always say, a marathon, it's just a 26-mile victory lap. Like the work that you put in the training by yourself, the early mornings and like all of the miles that you put in on your own, the 26 miles when you show up with 1,000 other people, it's not easy, but it's pretty simple. You just go, you stick to your plan and like ride the wave, just ride the adrenaline. The training, that's where like the champions are built. Along with that, Martin posted on his story, and he was like, he asked the question like, what did you have to give up or what did you sacrifice in order to become a runner? And for me, I commented and I was like, I had to give up the idea that I hate running or that I'm not a runner and really adopt the mentality that I am a runner and I love running because of what I get from it. And then I forget the other thing, but there was a third thing there. Anyways, that's my little rant about running.
Well, I mean, I think you've just motivated me to go for a run right now.
Yeah, well,
but it's cold.
Yeah, I know.
I brought my stuff to run.
Well, we might have to get out on the trail there. We'll see. We'll see.
I don't think I have time.
Yeah. We'll make time. We'll just skip the belayers recording session. They won't mind it. I'm sure they haven't been looking forward to it at all or anything. They won't mind.
Well, speaking of which, I need to head that way.
Yes, this is true.
Well, dude, thanks, man. I hope you enjoyed it.
Dude, this is so much fun. Come to Austin anytime. I'm so excited. First of all, that you're here. I'm excited to show you the city, and obviously excited to hear all the conversations that come from this trip. It's gonna be
I'm
really
excited
awesome.
to land into another Lego hub of people that I know.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Is with this podcast, AFOLs, you just gotta congregate in one city,
just like Filipinos.
Like Filipinos. just look at our example. Congregate in different cities. We've got the Austin hub down. There's a LA hub. Little bit.
We're a little scattered.
Little bit. Yeah, little scattered. Yeah. There's an Atlanta hub.
There's definitely
there's an Atlanta hub. I think that's kind of it as of right now. You gotta get Florida, Orlando.
Yeah, Florida, no. There's definitely a Florida one. There's definitely a Florida. It's more like a creator / Lego hub.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like.
I'm realizing that it's all of the warm weather destinations for the most part. We got LA, Texas, Florida, Atlanta. Does it get cold in Atlanta?
I don't know, man. Never been.
I always know that people call it Hot Atlanta because it gets super hot and muggy in the summers.
That's all you guys, except for California.
Yeah, that's
it doesn't get hot and it gets gross, but it's not like this.
Yeah, this sun just beats down on you.
That's when you just go inside.
Yeah. Well, it's like the Michigan winters. You only go out in in the winter when you absolutely have to. Other than that, you're staying inside.
I get it. And then let your gas bill go up. I get it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all good. It's all good. Just like you guys right now, it's during winter. All right, man. So thank you again, dude. Anything you want to say? Plug? Or...
I was gonna say thank you for having me, but
you had me. Oh, that sounds so wrong.
It's the same thing that Michael said. Thank you for being here. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you coming out. Plug It's Rob the Builder on all social media, ELPN as well. You can find that on YouTube, and then there's also like Instagram, TikTok, Spotify.
Yeah.
I don't do the shameless plugs. That's Zane's job.
Oh, so, yeah, but when I ending it, I just put on a fade.
Yeah. Dude, I realized I didn't know so many people love that about the show. That's
I didn't know it was a thing too, and then I was like, wait, is this supposed to happen?
I think it's kind of concerning that the people's favorite part about my podcast is how it ends. Yeah.
Just like this.
Yeah. And give this group to go part for part and give a great review. You want a heart to heart, sitting on the stoop. We're not concerned with reviews of the Lego group. Cause we're the misfit bricks. This is what we do.